Yes, it is hard. It is extremely hard. But still, it is possible to win in our life. Even if we are not lucky, even if we are not born rich, even if we are not born with talents, looks, or anything, still it is possible. If it's possible for a lot of other people, if it is possible for Oprah Winfrey, if it is possible for so many examples like this, then it is possible for us too. It is a matter of how we understand this game called human life. And once we understand, then how we play it, how intelligently we play this game, how amazingly we understood every law of this human existence, and how we then apply our own action upon it so that we become so super successful on our own. I already agreed that it is hard, and it may be extremely hard for a lot of us, but it is still possible to win in everything of life, in every field of life. It takes a lot of efforts, a lot of actions, a lot of exploring, a lot of confusion, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depressed nights, a lot of effort, and a lot of anxiety too. But the thing is that it's still possible. Think about it. The people who were in wars, who were fighting the war, their situation is even worse than us. But still they keep a hope in their heart. And then still they fight with all their might. And sometimes they win. And they get to gain everything from that winning. In earlier times, kings used to fight with each other. And the king which wins gets all the properties and all the resources and money of the empire who has lost. So the thing is that if we develop a fighting spirit, if we develop the inner power, then that power will slowly come into our real life, slowly come into our physical existence. So develop it first on our brains, on our minds, on our hearts. Develop your inner power, and that inner power will slowly come into your life. Don't settle for mediocrity, don't settle for something really less. You, me, we all have the power within ourselves. Even if we are not so lucky, but we can change the trajectory of our lives with our own efforts, with our own understanding. If we do the right efforts, if we understand self-knowledge, if we understand who we are, what is this game called human life, what matters here, how to be rich, what are the things rich people do, the people who were poor and how did they become rich. If we deep dive into these things, and nowadays even there is AIs and chatbots, Gemini, ChatGPT, a lot. So we do a deep research on that, and we follow this. We look into what are the habits the people did to become rich from poor backgrounds, what they did, how they lived their lives, how the people in the most happiest relationships live their lives. So we look into this, how healthy people pass their time, how healthy people live every single day of their lives. If we look deep into these things, then it will take time, it will take effort, it will be a little bit anxious also. But if we look deep down into these things, if we read the books, if we do the research on these chatbots and on the internet, on everything, then we slowly will understand the game of human life. And once we understand the half game, the 50% game is already done. When we understand the game of life, then we are already winning 50%. So after that only it's about half the game which we need to play. So how do we play? We play as a fighter, as a warrior, with all our might, with all our everything. We don't settle for anything less. We go for self-sufficiency. We go and we do things which earns us so much money. And by that we buy our land, we buy our properties, and we leave that shit jobs as soon as possible. and we live on our own. We maybe also live off grid, and if you don't like, we don't live off grid. We just have our own properties, we rent that things, we do all the things, and to gain those properties we gotta do all the efforts that it require, all the intelligence that we need to put, we will put, and we will do everything that it requires to get to that level. It's possible, and it may also take just a few years, just maybe 5 years, 3 years, who knows. So let's do that, because think about it, even if we are living as a maybe a loser, or maybe just the average person, then what are we gonna get in the end? It's all the same. Everyone's just gonna wipe off, everyone's ending is the same. Everyone will become soil. So when we were alive, that is the time we should fight, and there is two benefits. If we fight with all our might, if we fight with unity, if we do the things which we require to become successful in life, then we may have that success, or we may not have that success, but one thing is certain, that we will have an amazing fight. And I am not asking anyone to go after the success which the general population, society, and social media tells you. First, we should define our success by our own brain, by our own selves, and only then we should go after that. And once we go after that, we should give our everything, our brain, heart, soul, everything into it, and just we should fight like a warrior and never stop until we are successful, or we're no more. So keep fighting, and one day we may make it, or we may not, but the fight is still amazing.